Are we more free today than we were the day after September 11th, 2001? 20 years later. The answer is unequivocally no way, no how. So I got a confession. I was one of the millions and millions and millions and millions, most Americans who wanted blood on that day. I wanted blood. And I allowed my desire for vengeance to sacrifice the freedoms. And I tell you, man, I am so I'm just ashamed. No other way around it. And I'm just sitting there thinking, are we freer today than we were back then? And the answer is unequivocally no, not even close. Now we got this mandated vaccine stuff from Sniffy Joe. And we can get mad at Sniffy Joe, but it's because of us. We allowed this to happen by the continual desire for vengeance against a group of people who did not commit this crime against us. The Taliban, the Afghanis, the Iraqis. Look, and I fell for it more than I was trying to re-up to go fight and freaking. I want to fight those people over there so they don't fight us over here. I sit there and I'm just embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. On that day we lost 3,000 souls to a group of people who were up to no good. Still, it's odd to me. Box cutters. And they knew how to fly jet. Whatever. I mean, I just find that odd, but whatever. It happened. And we're not going to, there's no reason to rehash this stuff. 3,000 brave souls died. They're just going to work like you and I do every day. You know how many people are going to die today in America? 8,000 brave souls. You know how many of those people are going to die from heart disease? 1,700. You know how many people are going to die tomorrow in America? 8,000 brave souls. You know how many are going to die from heart disease? 700 or 1,700. Cancer, diabetes, heart disease, hypertension. We got mass obesity, and yet somehow 20 years after 3,000 brave souls died, countless more died from activities that we perpetrated on the Middle East, Iraq, Afghanistan. I was reading, this guy was showing yesterday. I can't believe this. It's actually insane. Showing a video of David Petraeus talking about that we're basically going to, the opium fields, we're policing up, i.e. protecting. And we basically allowed the opium to flourish in Afghanistan under the auspices of us allowing small farmers in Afghanistan, supposedly. And you see the huge increase in opium production in Afghanistan in the teens of 2000. And then coincidentally, a huge increase in the opioid crisis in America. I sit there and I'm just ashamed. I'm ashamed. We had all this anger towards Muslims who literally did nothing to us, man. I mean, you could say the 18 idiots, they did something to us. And, these 18 fools from Saudi Arabia, the whole thing is insane, man. It's insane. They were so angry. We wanted vengeance so much, we left 80 billion of top military gear in Afghanistan. We're so angry now we're going to perpetuate that anger back towards us because we're not getting vaxxed. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's a complete shame of the world. We've allowed ourselves to be sucked in to say, man, those Taliban, those Muslims, I was there with you, man. So basically what has happened is, those of us on the right who wanted vengeance, we wanted to blame those who love Allah. Those of us on the left who want vengeance want to blame us who don't love the big government. And so we hate those people. And then the left hates us. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. I mean, look, you can see it. The left hates us more than they hate anyone else because we don't follow their dictates, and they're afraid of us. We hated the Muslims more than anybody else because we're worried if we don't get them over there, they're gonna get us over here. And I'm sitting there thinking, let's just say there's 1 billion Muslims in this world. If it was truly 1% of 1 billion wanted to suicide bomb, we'd all be dead. And it's not happening. It's just not happening. And I'm ashamed. Look, I love Jesus 100%. It's funny. Interesting thing is Muslims have a respect for Jesus Christ as well. Just by the way, just FYI. I think Jesus is Savior, the reincarnated, and I think because of Jesus dying on the cross, we opens up the gates of heaven. The Muslims don't think that, but we're a hell of a lot closer to Muslims in terms of ideology than we are towards the atheists that live amongst us here in America. That's for sure. And yet somehow I was just so convinced that the Muslims, and I'm sad. I just apologizing for that. It's nuts. And so what happened was because the left is so focused on us and we were so focused on there, we took our eyes off the ball. What was perpetually happening under supposedly right-wing governments of George W. Bush and then Donald Trump. I mean, I hate to say it, but think about the same people in the same administrations. I mean, like Matthew Dowd was he was the one who coined the term axis of evil. And look at this guy now. You think they're that much farther different than the guys who in the Trump administration? No. Who's named FBI person in Trump? Christopher Wray, whatever the hell his name is. Look, Trump did what he could, but there's still the beast devoured him just like the beast devoured everybody. Don't forget, George W. Bush, his dad was the head of the CIA, for heaven's sake. I mean, do you think they're not one? And so let's make the axis of evil our enemy so we can focus all of our attention over there while we're doing this over here to take away your freedom. Now we gave them a foothold and they freaking took advantage of that, man. And now literally, they're going to Harvey Weinstein you. It says you will take this penetration into your body or else you will lose your job. That's literally Harvey Weinstein, whatever the hell his name is. You will take this penetration or you will lose your job. It's no different. One sec. Anyway, the point being is once you allow the false dichotomy of us versus them, your adversaries are going to use that against you too, is what we're witnessing now. And you can't take it back, man. That's what's frustrating. It's just, you can't, it's 20 years. We're still going through security without our shoes on. And but Josh, if we didn't do that, we would be, the planes would come down. Like, where's the evidence of that, man? I mean, where is the evidence of that? Well, didn't you see what happened at 9/11? I mean, we were flying all over the place until then. Then just go through security. The whole thing is insanity. It's like everyone wants to say, oh my goodness, I'm okay to be violated because I so want security, and yet we're still not secure. In fact, we have a more encroaching government every single day is because we allowed it to happen. I did. I wanted vengeance. And man, once you start going down the road of vengeance, you'll never get vengeance till you're satisfied enough. Never, ever, ever. And then that vengeance will be turned on you by your own people here. It's because of us allowing what happened in 9/11 is why we're dealing with the mess we're dealing with now. There's no two ways around that. I sat there. I'll never forget just one time sitting there, and I see it today too. It's like still those Muslims. I'm like, dude, what did they do? They didn't do anything to us any more than a Christian did anything to Muslims or to atheists or nothing. And that's just embarrassing. And I'm sitting there thinking the biggest source of evil in the history of the world, 20th century, is the atheists with their commie gospels of Mao, Ho Chi Minh, freaking Khmer Rouge, Pol Pot, Stalin, Hitler. This is not, Hitler's a Catholic. Stop that crap. This is not debatable. And yet somehow we turn it to a foreign group of people because they have a different faith. It's insane to me. And the false dichotomy, man. And all these people, Americans, died on foreign soil. So now the Taliban could have $80 billion worth of military. It's shameful. And that could have been me. And you might know somebody. It might be your brother, your daughter. It might be your freaking friend. I don't know. It's not just because Joe Biden is freaking clown, which he is. And see, Joe Biden look, he could he orchestrate something? I don't know. but it's because we wanted vengeance. And we were, damn, so frustrating. And we got it, but we didn't get it enough. We wanted more. I fell for it. You fell for it. Let's not fall for it again. That's all we got to say here. And sadly, I'm not sure how this ends anymore. That's the thing, is because we are so far down a road where we essentially are the enemy to a good amount of American people that they don't want you to exist because you have a different faith belief than them. Their faith belief is in the government. Our faith belief is in the Lord Jesus. And they see, the funny thing is, they feel this vengeance towards us won't turn on them. It's gonna. I don't know where, how. It's not going to be like taking up arms or anything, but you're never satisfied in a search for vengeance. That's why God says, vengeance is mine. You're never satisfied. It never works out like it. It's such a lie from Satan, man. Oh, he's so good. Just turn your hate on these people and we'll get them. And then you'll be satisfied. And you're never satisfied. And vengeance is turned inward, ultimately. That's what I'm trying to say. So before you say, oh, you're talking about vengeance. No, I'm talking about the inward turning of vengeance. How you ultimately are the victim of your own vengeance. And we are here, man. Man, so frustrating. All right, but you live and learn. I mean, this is what happens. You learn, man. And you just move forward one step at a time. God bless. We'll see where we are in 20 years from now. Hopefully we can recoup some of our lost freedoms. I'm still relatively optimistic because the lines are being drawn so forcefully now. You have to, in this case, I hate to say, have to choose a side because that's still a false dichotomy. But I mean, the sides have been chosen, and you're on one or the other. And a lot of people who would normally be on that side are being forced to be on this side on the vax versus non-vax thing because they're like, why? You know what I'm saying? Which is good. It will open up a lot of eyes, but it's just sad how much freedom has to be lost before eyes get open. Let's just put that. All right, we'll see you guys. Thanks now.